Hey guys, it's Mr. Mock, and I just wanted to put together a quick movie, just one more time going over some of the main ideas from this Chapter 9 that will be on the test, and I kind of expect you to know to do well in order to do well on this test, alright? So the first problem I'm going to highlight real quick is just number 2 from that list of problems that I gave you from the Chapter 9 review. It was a triangle, it was an isosceles triangle, and it had a height of 12, and then the sides were 13 each, all right? And it asked you for the, I believe, the area. Is that right? No, it just asked for the base here. So what we ended up doing to figure this out, so figure out AB, is I would break this into two separate right triangles, right? So you've got the right triangle on the left and the right triangle on the right. And I would choose one of them. It doesn't really matter which one. You know the hypotenuse of it is 13, and you know that the one leg is 12, and then that little leg you kind of need to find out. So we go over here, and how I listed it as A is 12, B we're not sure what it is, 13 would be C, the hypotenuse. And we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now please note, the Pythagorean theorem is only used with right triangles, only right triangles. So that's why we can use it with the smaller one here. 12 squared plus b squared equals 13 squared, 144 plus b squared equals 169 squared. You subtract the 144 on both sides. So that b squared equals 25, square root of 25 is 5. So you know that each of these is 5, so that AB would be a total of 10. Alright? So this one just highlights Pythagorean theorem. Have to have a right triangle. The C is always the hypotenuse. Alright? The hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. And yeah, and that's how you kind of work that one. So that's 2 minutes. 2 minutes into this video. Let's see how much longer I go. I'm going to go ahead and do number 4 now. Number 4 was this guy here, where you had to figure out A to B. And what I've done is I created this dark triangle here. All right, so it's kind of going through the center of this rectangular prism. And so there's another diagonal from this corner to the opposite corner. And then you have the height. And what I'm trying to highlight here is that we need this length in order to get that diagonal across the rectangular prism. So we have another little triangle here. We've got the one that has the leg 8, the leg 24, and then we need to find this one, right? So the math to do that is over here, where I'm saying A is 8, B is 24, and then I'm trying to find C, which is that length from this corner all the way back over to B. And so I'm using the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 8 squared is 64, 24 squared is 576, c squared is c squared. And when you get 64 plus 576 is 640, that doesn't have a perfect square. So what I've done is I simplified it. Now this is going to be another thing that you have to be able to do on the test, is simplify a radical. And what I broke that down into is 64, square root of 64 times the square root of 10, because I can do the square root of 64, which is 8. So I know that C is 8 times the square root of 10, right there. So now I'm going to bring that back over here. A would be 6. B would be 8 times the square root of 10, and then I'm looking for AB, which is C. All right? Again, using the Pythagorean theorem, 6 squared is 36. 8 times the square root of 10 squared, well, that's just right here. 8, that you just go backwards. That's going to be 640. 640 plus 36 is 676. The square root of 676 is, in fact, 26. So that would be the correct answer for number 4, and that's kind of how you break it down. So the highlights here, all right? Simplifying a radical. Talked a little bit about it there. You're looking for the largest square root possible, the largest number you know the square root of that goes into underneath the radical here. That's 640. The largest square root is 64. So we can do the square root of 64 to get 8, and that still leaves the square root of 10 on the outside. And then to just kind of highlight how to do this type of problem, because I'm going to guarantee there's a problem like this on the test. All right, so I'm going to stop there with this video. That's gone over 2 problems. And then I'll go ahead and break down 2 more problems in the next video. All right, guys.